Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my definitive, old school Ring of Honor reviews. I said this in night one, but these reviews might already be on my channel. But I have watched much more wrestling than when I first reviewed these shows, and so this time around, I am going to go in depth with my reviews and bring you play by play action. So tonight, we are taking a look at Ring of Honor Unscripted from September 21st, 2002. The first event of the evening is not a match, but a promo by Paul London in the ring. He says his partner for tonight's tag team tournament to crown the first Ring of Honor tag team champions is the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. But Michael Shane makes his way out, they get into a scuffle, and there's an awesome off-the-top rope flip to the outside. A street fight is shortly announced between Michael Shane and Paul London later in the night, and thus American Dragon has to find a new partner, and he finds this new partner in a matter of minutes. He has a smirk on his face in the back, and he says to the interviewer he already has a good idea on who that's going to be. Our first match for the evening is SAT versus Christopher Daniels and Donovan Morgan of the Prophecy. SAT has the first advantage, performing a Boston Crab camel clutch combo, and the crowd pops. The crowd goes crazy. Not shortly after, though, the Prophecy takes control. As with the Prophecy and heelish ways, Daniels and Morgan are cheating, taunting, doing all the normal things that heels do. Nonetheless, though, a really good offensive by Daniels coming across with a unique stretch submission. Strangely enough, though, halfway through the match, a female fan, I'm doing air quotes with my fingers, gets into an altercation with Daniels, moonsaults onto him, and then somehow kidnaps Simply Luscious. Nothing much follows up here, though. She is there once more by the end of the night. So this angle that they were going for, tonight specifically, it was a waste. There are a few hiccups with the match, though. There's a botch when Daniels and a member of SAT try to clothesline over the top rope, as well as the rhythm being off when Morgan is just waiting in one corner of the ring to stop the 3 count. Now, with Morgan and this thing that he does, waiting in the ring to stop a count, this happens in another one of the events that I will review. So this is something, hopefully by now, he's worked on it. But you could see that he has to work on his timing a little bit. Daniels and Morgan win the match, and I give this one a 3 out of 5. The next match, I'm not going to say his first name because I know I'm going to botch it. So I'll stick with his last name only. Hidaka and Dick Togo versus James Maritato and Tony Mamaluke. James Maritato is, as we all know him to be, Nunzio from WWE. Submissions and short sequences start this match off. James Maritato here is very impressive when compared to his WWE run. Same as with a few others in the night that I will talk about. Shortly after that, both teams at the same time tag in fresh partners, and Mamaluke and Togo get more gritty, rolling on the ground, constantly trying to outmaneuver one another. After that, things slow, and we come to find out Mamaluke and Maritato aren't on the same page. Maritato wants to get rid of the FBI gimmick and become more serious, while Mamaluke doesn't mind carrying the FBI gimmick and even making it kind of more comedic than it is already. Maritato wants to be a legit, no more kidding around tag team. There was a botch, but unlike the first match, the Italians turn it into a worthwhile move. They fix it on the fly, and it looks flawless. At one point, things turn a little sloppy with all four in the ring, and there's no real rhythm, but overall enjoyable even with Maritato and Mamaluke's rising tension. Hidaka and Dick Togo win, and I give this match a standard 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 will be my middle of the road rating when it comes to these old school reviews. Next up, there's a promo in the ring between Maritado and Mamaluk. And guess what? We get the match of James Maritado versus Tony Mamaluk. They take it right off the bat. They take it to the outside, and the guardrail is used as well as the ring bell. Now the ring bell is used, and when you think of the ring bell being used, you think of a move that looks nasty to like the head or something. But the ring bell is used in such a way that it's used sloppy. I forget exactly who, but the ring bell is used to attack the back of one of the wrestlers, and it's another one of those wasted moments. I'm not going to say potential, I'm going to say wasted moments. With his face hidden under the ring apron, Maritado proceeds to blade his face. He's got your crimson mask, if you will. Once they get back in the ring, quick back and forth until the heel here wins. And that is Tony Mamaluke. I give this match, since it was short and weird at times, I'm going to give this match a 1.5 through 2 out of 5. And now we get to see who the American Dragon's partner is for later in the night, and that is Mike Modest. Now, the next match, Quiet. The first team is labeled as Quiet Storm, like the little caption when they come out, Quiet Storm. But on the box, as you will see, the team is called Divine Storm. And again, just like Morgan's timing that is off, this happens on another event too. This team's confusion of name. So I don't know whose mistake that is, but they need to fix that as well. Hopefully they do with the DVDs that I do not have. They are facing American Dragon and Mike Modest. Of course, with American Dragon, we're very submission and strike heavy at first. We knew what we were getting into. Very nice showing from the combination of Quiet Storm and American Dragon. Show of strength, roll through. This match is very one-sided once Mike Modest comes in though. The very first initial impression I got of Mike Modest, it's like he didn't want to sell anything. He didn't want to take bumps, and that's why I say it's very one-sided. Heavy strikes, one-sided, digging into the other team. Modest doesn't want to sell. One-sided, it really makes the latter half of this match crappy. It does. American Dragon Mike Modest win, and I give this match a 2 out of 5. Now, Carnage Crew comes in during the event's intermission and make their own spot, beating up the Natural Born Sinners because they didn't get a spot. See how I did that? In the tag team tournament. Hidaka and Togo versus Christopher Daniels and Donovan Morgan. Surprisingly, the commentators state that this is the first time that Daniels and Morgan team up. So this must be like the very start of the prophecy. Very nice beginning sequence, stiff strikes from both teams. And this was after a handshake, the norm in Ring of Honor. But it does decline in like the 2006 on lifespan of Ring of Honor. Compared to previous matches, this match slows down significantly for a while. Daniel and Morgan getting a lot of offense in. Togo is desperate for a tag for the longest time. Big elbow drop on a triple headlock. That's a nice spot. There's a hot tag in for Togo, but it gets extinguished quickly by Morgan. I've never seen a hot tag get extinguished and crapped on as fast as I did in this match. Goes on for a while, finishers and quick saves from the faces, and the crowd gets into it, but the prophecy wins by cheating and holding legs down. Christopher Daniels and Donovan Morgan are your victors, and the match gets a 3.5 out of 5. If the match did not end by cheating, it would have had a better rating. Your next match is a squash match. It doesn't get much of a rating here. Alex Arion, who is Prince Nana's, I would say, student slash soldier, versus Dunn of Dunn and Marcus. Your basic David versus Goliath match, but Goliath wins. Squash match. At the end of the match, Prince Nana tells Alex Arion to shine my shoes. And Arion looks like he's about to, but then super kicks Nana in the face. So we had a victory from the heels, but that wasn't enough, and Arion needed to turn on Prince Nana. That is a unique turn of events for heels. After the match, the Christopher Street connection with the Japanese pool boy and Alice in Danger. With the Christopher Street connection, think of what went on with Billy and Chuck in WWE in like the same years. I think they were going for that easily. Um, they have a makeout. The two men of the group have a makeout session right on top of Prince Nana, who's still in the ring, laying down. They also kiss Nana's head while he's laying there, and that wakes him up, and he rolls out of the ring. While they're celebrating whatever, Mickey James comes running into the ring and beats up all of them, especially the poor pool boy. Top rope spinning DDT. Now, we have in the middle of the card, which is a bit odd. I think it seems as though they were pushing the tag team tournament more than anything, but still, it's a bit odd to have a Ring of Honor title match in the middle of your show. It is Loki, who is your Ring of Honor champion, versus Xavier. Nice handshake to start this match. Loki, the way he moves and grunts is very much a spectacle to see. It's like a man, but a savage at the same time. Obviously, with the two wrestlers we have, this match is very strike oriented. You can tell that Loki obviously hits much harder than Xavier. Loki is either not selling or is just not getting hurt at all from everything that Xavier is throwing him. The man, during this match, it looks like he doesn't feel pain. It looks like he's just going through the motions, and this guy is no threat to him. And as we can see later on, this was probably the case, and so they had to do something else to make Xavier look bad. Look bad, like in storyline wise, okay? What Loki is showing to the crowd must be getting to Xavier because Xavier botches a couple times and it's noticeable. So, like, the psychology is actually getting to him. They switch to grappling, and Xavier's moves start to look better. Loki performs a dragon clutch from the top rope. Nice spot. Daniels comes out and watches the match for a while until Loki finally notices he's there. He goes to confront Daniels, but Xavier sideswipes him from the back and then proceeds to grab what looks to be like the end pole that keeps the guardrails up in place, and the pole is embedded into this like huge concrete slab. So what Xavier does is picks up this concrete slab and just crushes it into Loki's chest. And Loki starts bleeding from the mouth. But Daniels doesn't actually physically interfere, so the referee lets the match proceed. Loki slowly crawls back to the ring because he doesn't give up, but Xavier pulls off his finisher, and Xavier is your new Ring of Honor champion. For what this match was, even with the interference, they played it off like Daniels didn't actually interfere. Loki wanted to get at him. It was an actually pretty good match, so I give it a 3.5 out of 5. The rest of Prophecy come into the ring, puts a Ring of Honor flag, drown it out on Loki. Xavier is now in the Prophecy. He wasn't in the Prophecy before the match started, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but to the point where you can respect it. It's part of the storyline, so it's a good turning point for that arc. Your next match is Takio Omori versus Sonny Siaki. Thank God for the handshake because I wrote that down actually. Thank God for the handshake because the other match was so filthy. At the end, of course. Drastically different than the last match. Two lightweight guys with strikes and submissions. Both of the moves from these wrestlers most of them anyway, look like they don't hurt. Now it's heavy, tall men, and the ring shakes a lot. It really does. It really does. Big moves and nasty neckbreaker to boot. Siaki is using his flying Elvis gimmick from early TNA days. It was 2002, so he's naturally going to do that. But it's like, is that a gimmick you're really proud of? I don't think so. Any gimmick can be better than a flying Elvis. Nice, but a very short match. More of a highlight reel from both of these men, not really a competitive match. I give it a 2.5 out of 5. Sonny Siaki, even with the refreshed and new gimmick, Amori wins. Your next promo is from CM Punk. He comes out to the ring and hypes up the crowd. Very babyface, very babyface-ish. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this from him. His voice is much higher in tone than I'm used to too. Where's the CM Punk I know? Anyways, Colt Cabana comes out, and as a side note, they both have caps on. Cap brothers, if you will. Cabana seems to be... Okay, here's where it gets a little confusing with this promo, okay? Cabana seems to be getting angry at CM Punk, okay? He seems to be setting up a feud. Even just one match, he seems to be setting up. But at the end of the promo, nothing is actually set in stone, nothing is actually placed, and the commentators don't even make a big deal of a potential match. So I know they were going for promoting the next event because that's what small indies do, especially Ring of Honor. In those days, they had just started. I think they were about a week, about a year in their lifetime so far. So they're going to sell the next event, but this was a really awkward way of doing it. Cabana was like, Cabana was geared up and getting mad towards CM Punk, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was just a promo for the next show. It was odd. It was odd. Um, we have another promo after that one by Jay Briscoe in the back, talking about his defeats and getting bloodied and beaten and bruised by his own brother. He makes it a point to let you know that he's not going to lose anymore. Your next match has Jay Briscoe in it, and it is Jay Briscoe versing Amazing Red. Mark Briscoe tries to be Red's manager, Jay Briscoe's brother, of course, before he heads out to the ring, but gets super kicked, and he falls right into... It looks like the janitor's closet. It looks like a bathroom. I marked out a little because it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I need more clarification on what room that was. Anyway, there's very good sequences to start. They go to the outside of the ring, and there's another nice back and forth on the outside of the ring. Well, Red's actually doing things. Jay is just pushing and shoving, to be clear on that. Red's very agile. He's always been agile. I'm surprised why WWE never signed him. There's a visible contrast here that actually works very well. Red is very flippy, and Jay is very much with the power moves. Sunset flip powerbomb from the top rope. Red gets the crowd on their feet. Jay, though, instantly comes back with a Jay Driller and win. That instant recovery brought my rating down to a 3. It was going to be a 4. It was damn near perfect, but that instant recovery tarnished a little bit of the match for me, so I'm bringing it down to a 3.5. After the match, Special K, I don't know why they're named that. I might have to do a little bit of research on that. Excuse me. They come out and they try to attack Red, but SAT comes out as well, and they defend Red and goes some more into Special K with a torture rack leg drop combo, and that looks pretty damn good. And then chair attacks. They must they must not really like the taste of the cereal. I know, terrible joke. Please don't mind me. After that, a big, huge, mysterious man comes into the ring from the crowd and attacks nobody other than the innocent referee. Then goes right back to the audience, puts his back up against the wall, and proceeds to watch the rest of the event. Now, I don't know where this was going, obviously. I still don't know where it's going, and it's just weird to me. Your second to last match of the evening is your match of the night in my book. Michael Shane versus Paul London. Spoiler, a spoiler already, obviously. Best match of the night. After seeing something and remembering what Paul London was in WWE, he's a whole nother level here. Fast, fast, fast. At first, Shane is thrown out of the ring and his head bounces off the outside ring corner like, damn, holy shit. Holy shit moment. Tries to flip back into the ring, but gets detoured by London. Then he's thrown into the guardrail. The match slows down for a bit with the introduction of weapons. Both get busted open. You know how you can tell the difference between like an accidental cut and like a blade job. It seems to be, and they both bladed, but kudos to them because I didn't see where the blading moment happened. There turns out to be blood everywhere, even stains on the pants. Okay, head scissors through a table on the floor outside from the ring. Ladders are bent, running on ladders that are set up on turnbuckle to the enemy on the floor. Shooting star press from a ladder 15 feet high. Oh my. A bit too long though for my liking when it comes to these spot fest matches. I quickly grow tired of a match that has a lot of spots. Make them impactful, make them severe, make them heavy, but don't like do it over and over and over again. Have a little bit of a slowdown here and there so those high impact moves mean more. And this match, even though it was incredible, didn't do that. So I couldn't give it a 5 out of 5. I gave it a 4 out of 5. That's still a pretty damn good rating in my book. Paul London wins. At the end of the match, Michael Shane and Paul London try to go, like, it seems like they're getting along, like they respect one another for what they did in the ring, but the hug turned into a clothesline from Michael Shane. Heel antics always persist. Another intermission promo. I don't know if there was actually another intermission or the whoever curated the DVD put another break, but it didn't work right with me. Morgan tries to get Modest to join Prophecy, but no avail. Tease of a scuffle. Now to the main scuffle. I was going to say that Donovan Morgan and Mike Modest, even though I didn't see the match yet, in early in the night, I was contemplating how these two were going to match up in the ring because they had the same physique, they had the same attitude too, which is unusual. They had the same um, build to their body and ready to go. So we are going to see that in this match, which is your main event, which will crown the first Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. It is Christopher Daniels and Donovan Morgan versus American Dragon and Mike Modest. Modest is better here, actually selling shit. I don't know, maybe he just didn't like the first the first team they were fighting earlier in the night. Good, solid back and forth. First off, Morgan loves shattering guardrails. At least 3 or 4 are going to need to be replaced. Halfway through, and no way is this matching. Haha, that's funny. Yes, I know. London and Shane. Modest catches Daniels head on the top rope with his legs, and while rolling Daniels onto the floor, Modest screams all the way through. That was pretty hilarious. Morgan is finally put into a guardrail himself. American Dragon goes down on his knee the wrong way, and he curses way too many times. I think he did actually injure himself, even though he persists on with the match. Kudos to him. This is not a match for the children. This is not a match for the little ones. Okay, that whole segment from Daniel Bryan Bryan Danielson was terrifying for them. They're gonna have nightmares. The commentators announced that instead of belts, the winners are going to get a trophy. That's a bit off the cuff, but all right. The ending was weird because besides usual heel tactics to win, after the pin, Modest was pinned. You know there's trouble. Modest gets right back up and beats up Daniels and Morgan. They run out of the ring. Modest and American Dragon steal the trophy and break the trophy up with a chair. At the same time that your storyline is proceeding and the faces want to get back at the heels for winning by cheating, something happens in the crowd. Modest actually notices, even though the camera doesn't cut to it, Modest actually notices that there's something happening in the crowd, and he rolls out of the ring and goes to do whatever's happening. So Brian Danielson is in the ring, like, am I supposed to go up to the camera with the trophy? Am I supposed to wait for Modest? So the clunkiness in this match happened after the match was over. So even though that happened, I give this match a 4 out of 5. It was still pretty good. It was still pretty damn good. Now, to end your night, there's a promo in the back with the prophecy. You know they're going to be celebrating. They apparently knew this was going to happen because their name is the prophecy. Next pay-per-view is Xavier versus Jay Briscoe in a non-title match, and that review is already up. I am going out of order. Yes, I know this is going to be fun. Solid pay-per-view, but the name of the pay-per-view is called Unscripted. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to break the fourth wall repeatedly. The commentators continuously use the word feud, gimmick. You see what I mean? They try to break every kayfabe rule, and I didn't like that. That left a bitter taste in my mouth. But there you have it, folks. That is my review for Unscripted 2002. More to come here on the WestRoadSal channel. Thank you for listening.